So I'm not even going to pretend like I am the biggest fan, but nonetheless, there was a lot of anticipation for this film, and I certainly couldn't wait to check it out, all things aside. Folks, let's jump into the 2024 version of Mean Girls, and that review is coming to you right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the new film Mean Girls, which is coming to theaters January 12th. So listen, it's been 20 years since the original film, and I am not going to pretend like I am the biggest fan, nor was I the biggest fan, but I have seen this film multiple times, and whether it was by account of chasing the girls around and early dates to the movies or whatever it may have been, because a lot of folks really love this film, I always respected it. It is one of those films that you can almost say is so intertwined within our generation, our younger generation, that everybody knows about the Burn Book. Everybody knows about Lindsay Lohan and her role as Cady in this. And just it being a film that was, I don't know, we can almost say like a cultural phenomenon, because it really took everybody by storm and people loved this film. So that always questions, did we need this? And honestly, I was on board, because once I heard that Tina Fey was going to be behind it and she was going to be writing it, I was like, okay, yeah, gotta respect Tina and her work. Obviously, her ties to this IP, shall I say. I thought, why not? But as a person who's not a fan of musicals, I was definitely like, oh my god, now a musical. So I don't know. All things aside, I still was very excited to check it out, and this delivered. And honestly, I laughed way more than I thought I was going to. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a good balance of really keeping the integrity of the original film. This one is again based on, this is a musical, but it is based on the stage musical Mean Girls. So I think it still does service by that. One of the leads in this film is reprising her Broadway role. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons why on paper this film should do well. And not to mention, you do have the likes of Tina Fey and Tim Meadows reprising their roles back from the original film back in 2004. So with all that considered, yes, this film absolutely delivered. Again, as a person who doesn't like musicals, I thought they did a really good balance in giving you those musical numbers, but also doing good storytelling, good character development, allowing these characters to shine. And there's a lot of charisma across the board with the cast, so everybody's really getting moments to really bring their characters to screen and making them large, even in the smallest scenes, and, you know, adding the humor as well as the drama. I mean, they just did a really good job of the pacing and so on. So beginning to end, I was enjoying this film. So with that being said, listen, there's good jokes. Going back to the 2004 version, I have not seen the musical, so I can't really reference it too much. I could just only attest that the folks that's involved with this, who's also involved with the musical, you take that sort of with a grain of salt, I guess, or lack of better words, of just saying that, like, you know, like the proper folks were involved to make this work. But even going back to the 2004 version of this film, the changes they made, I thought they were in good taste. So you definitely will see some tweaks to the original story, some little updated things, even giving some of our characters more to their story arcs. So there's little surprises in there I think everybody will sort of fall in love with, especially towards the end of the film. There is some Easter eggs. There is a cameo. I'm just going to tell you right now, because, listen, it's a spoiler, so if you don't want to listen, just go the other way. You can't do this film without Lindsay Lohan appearing at least once. So for the folks that may be looking for her, you won't be disappointed. I will give you that. But even with that cameo, which in fact is completely necessary, it's not to take away from the hard work of this cast. This cast up and down is phenomenal. And it's such an array of talent, and everybody comes together very cohesively. So you do have folks who, first time involvement with this popular IP, to some folks who have very lengthy resumes, to some folks this is their first time on screen. Nonetheless, everybody shines. But starting off with our lead in Angourie Rice, who plays the main character, the known name, all things go through Cady Heron here. The moment she steps on screen, she is must watch. She instantly grabs your attention and keeps it the entire film. The story with this character, she comes from Kenya, from being homeschooled to now getting back into school, which makes her the new girl at school, and she's just trying to figure out where does she fit in. The first two people that greet her happens to be Janis and Damian. Damian is played by Jaquel Spivey, who you would think that Jaquel has a very lengthy resume. But in fact, this is one of Jaquel's first role. Jaquel is easily my favorite performance of this film. I love the character Damian, the dialogue, the mannerisms, just everything about this character keeps you laughing the entire time. And paired next to Auli'i Cravalho, who is Moana. Yes, the famous Moana. So you already know, one, just the array of talent here with Auli'i. But the two of them together is just like the match I never knew I wanted until I got it. They work great together. And then again, you add in Angourie to them, and it's just a phenomenal three cast lead there. But then, going to the other folks that's involved, you go look at Reneé Rapp, again, as I mentioned, plays the character Regina George, who is reprising her role from her Broadway role. So, the transition from Broadway to television isn't always seamless, but she seems to have figured this out. And again, somebody you would think has a very lengthy theatrical resume absolutely doesn't. But again, this performance might have you questioning that, because again, as a character as Regina, who we know Regina is part of the plastic, so there's reasons to not like this character, but you somehow, some way, always continue to have some level of empathy with this character, and you sort of turn a liking to this character by the end of the film. But with that being said, Reneé does a good job of bringing this character to life that brings you on this roller coaster of, oh, I don't like her, to like, you know what, maybe she's not that bad. So for sure, a fantastic performance by Reneé. And everybody just really comes together great. Like, I can't emphasize enough that this film, no matter how much talent, how long your resume is and how much experience you may have, everybody makes the best of their moments. I mean, I was just kind of blown away that just a film that, has a lot on paper that should be great, executed still outside of my realm of expectations. Like, it really, really, really was a solid film. So with that being said, this film was a ton of fun, good jokes. The updated changes that they made since the 2004 version, I thought was done in good taste. I love the continuation of our characters and the folks that were praising the roles and still giving them something of importance within their characters here. I mean, yes, when you talk about, again, Tina Fey and Tim Meadows, I mean, they really bring that extra icing of the cake and heart from the original film back into this, and then this new nucleus coming in definitely sets a foundation for possibly doing more. And I know that Tina had mentioned that the original cast was definitely on board to wanting to do a sequel, and that would be great. maybe there is a possibility of merging everybody all together. I would be for that. And whether it is a musical, whether it just is a standard film and going back to its roots a little bit, it could go either way. And I will tell you that this film, as a musical, definitely had its moments where it was like, all right, no musical here. And I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. There was a very special scene with that, you know, somebody was looked like they was getting ready to hit a musical tone. They was like, you know what? Actually not. So I thought that was a really good little added taste there. But yes, you know, you're going to enjoy this film. And it has nothing to do with your gender, or if you've seen the first one, or if you've seen the Broadway play. This is just a super fun film kicking off 2024. And I cannot even believe I'm saying this, because I definitely didn't think I was going to enjoy this film as much as I did. So without a doubt, Mean Girls is a film you want to go out the way and check out, as it will be in theaters January 12th. So folks, here, checking out this review, if you are excited for this film, please let me know in the comments, and please come back for more reviews and content very soon here at Big Gold Belt Media. Thank you for watching, folks.